out here trying to save masculinity, right? Because of all these problems that we're having. And so I think about when you came up with this, and I'll let you explain it, theta man.
You can say it. Yeah.
The theta male, I thought of the younger generation, right? Because, if you're in your 30s and 40s, you have some experience, right? But when you're growing up as a teenager in this new modern world that is very confusing, and we've seen 16-year-old kids, 22-year-old kids with levels of testosterone in the 200s. I can just imagine what that can do to a kid's head and his mindset, right? And growing up, like, what is the definition of a man? What is that supposed to look like? And he goes to TV or he goes to the movies, and and those things start influencing. So I think one of the great things that you've done is to kind of give people, hey, this is what men should look like. This is what men should do.
But let's talk about exactly this. What should a man not just look like, be like?
Be like,
right?
Yeah.
So a man, and no matter what, I'm a feminist,
right,
but I believe men need to be men.
They have their place.
Men need to be strong men. Yeah. Men need to be leaders. Yeah. So your partner usually looks up to you as a man to protect her. Not Correct. That she can't protect herself,
of course,
but you need to be there.
Right.
Like we tend to be as men, the ones that go and provide.
Right.
Yes, you can have a partner that provides also.
Of course.
You need to be the one that tends to be like the stronger leader in
right.
this.
Servant leaders.
Servant leaders.
Right, servant leaders.
When we think about it, the concept of alpha males is, I think everybody knows about this,
yeah.
right? It came from wolves. When you have a pack of wolves, you usually have the alpha male that leads, that mates with all the females, but that makes all the decision. He usually gets the best piece of meat. He usually gets all that. So we all know alpha males, right? Alpha males tend to be the leaders, the big CEOs. They make money. They have all the women. They
more aggressive.
More aggressive. But there is somewhat of a pejorative, a bad connotation
it's perverted
to alpha males. Alpha males tend to be womanizers,
yeah.
tend to be impatient, tend to be more bullying.
And you have a term for that, right?
Not empathy, yeah. So this is the alpha males.
Right.
But there's no question that the alpha males has great qualities.
Right.
So my concept is, once I put you through my program and I optimize your nutrition, I optimize your exercise, your hormones are balanced, I work on your mindset, I want to take you from an alpha male or a beta male, if you tend to be more the guy that's in the back,
right.
into what I call a theta male. Theta.
Yeah.
So what a theta male is an alpha that's also a nice guy.
Right.
It's an alpha that can stay with one strong woman.
Yeah.
It's an alpha that
empathetic.
can show a lot of empathy and compassion, but at the same time could kick your ass. Could go out there and perform.
You have a great picture of it. Like the alpha male is usually the guy in the back kind of whipping the people to push forward, right? And he's kind of like in this upper sort of socioeconomic position where the theta male is pushing forward and leading forward, but he's with the people.
He's within.
Right?
So for me, this is an upgraded, more conscious masculinity. Yeah. So I think we need to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of young men, or even men my age, they identify with this weaker version of themselves because they've been weakened by what Shauna Swan calls the environmental emasculation of men. Because of those estrogenic compounds, those toxins that decrease our testosterone, men, when they have this, they feel emasculated. Yeah. And usually, how do men respond when they have something like this? It's either they become depressed and withdrawn, or they overcompensate by becoming boisterous and violent and all of this. Right. So I want to be able, by putting those four pillars together.
And even then, they'll reach a point where they have to just accept, right? Because we're seeing this decline. I mean, there's no question.
But listen, so there are studies that are showing that a lot of domestic violence is spurred by erectile dysfunction.
Right.
So if a man cannot satisfy his woman, cannot do what he's supposed to do at home, how does he show up? He pushes her down, he puts her down. Right. So all of this together in the men's psyche. So when they come to us, we understand this. And we first tell to guys, you're not alone. First. Let's
and it's not all in your head.
Yeah, and let's take the shame out, like that stigma, that shame.
Yeah.
We need to be able to talk to men, to be like, women, when they have problems, they get their girlfriends together, they hug, they cry, they talk about everything. They say, men don't have this.
We don't do that.
So we need to, what we're trying to do is we're normalizing talking about testosterone, talking about erections, talking about intimate things that usually guys don't do. Me and you, we talk a lot about those things.
All day, every day.
And all why we want to do this is to get men into that upgraded masculinity, upgraded place where you are doing better, where you are performing better, but at the same time, you're not what I call a CA.
Yeah.
A confident a-hole.
A-hole.
Right? So, because some of my guys, that happens. They come to me with low T.
Yeah.
They, you know, at home, they were kind of quiet because they were like, they're depressed. Man, when they find their energy, they find their power back. Now they want to become a-holes.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't be that CA guy.
And you have to manage the behavior, right? Because you know, when you follow up with them, it's like they do this, they have this transformation, and sometimes it's misguided energy, right? And sometimes you have to bring them back and say, hey, listen, that's not what this is about. Like, for example, when we talk about sex drive, that's a huge thing that I have with, you know, a lot of the guys that come to us. It's like, hey, listen, you have to qualify sex drive. Like, sex drive doesn't mean that you should be wanting to, you know, have sex with everything that moves 4 or 5 times a day. Sex drive is about, you know, deepening the level of intimacy with your partner if you have one, right? So it's, you know, you're so right. You have to sort of mitigate the mindset after you've had this, you know, 0 to 100 change. And get them into the mentality that, hey, you have a bigger purpose. You know, you are built to lead, but you're not supposed to be running over people, right? That's not what this is about.
So again, what I tell my guys, first, do your self-assessment. How are you doing? Are you satisfied where you are? If you're not, go look for answers. Get your blood tested.
Yeah.
And if you don't find the right doctor to help you, look, don't take no for an answer. You know, come to us. Go to the other doctors who do this. We're not the only ones.
Right.
I want to say we're the best at it, but we're not the only ones. Start first with your nutrition. Then add weight training. And if you're not there, have your blood tested. And then make sure they test what they're supposed to.
Yeah.
And then adjust your mindset. By putting those 4 things together, we see it so much. Again, that's why we're not just a testosterone replacement clinic. We take care of all 4 of those areas because my goal is once you're there, yes, you can be that better version. You can be that theta male.
Yeah.
And you can excel in all those different areas and still be a nice guy.
And these things take time too, right? Like a lot of people, they just want, you know, we're so used to immediate gratification, right? And by the way, we work really hard at giving people results really quickly, relatively quickly, so that they can begin the process, you know, when their mind is in the right place. Now they can start making those changes. But, you know, guys, this is a journey, right? This is not a destination. It's not a means to an end. This is a process. You're going to ebb and flow. And that's why we're here. And Doc's really great at this. And that's why we do follow-ups in order to kind of continue the journey as you grow, because you will grow.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to mention also, testosterone is mostly known for its effects on sex and muscles.
Right. Which are great.
There's so much more than this. So we always talk about the mental benefits of testosterone. Yeah. Testosterone also acts on the serotonin receptor for your mood. Yeah. It enhances dopamine receptors. So really a lot of guys who come to us, they'll tell us, yeah, no, I don't think I have low T because I can still have sex.
Right.
And you know, I'm not fat.
Right.
But I'm depressed. I don't want to feel like doing anything. Yeah. I feel like I'm not the best version of
myself.
By
the way, what this was, you know, and some people know this story, some people don't. Those are the 2 case studies between my brother and I. My brother, his symptoms were totally sexual, right? Mm-hmm. He dealt with ED, all this stuff. My symptoms, and we almost have identical biochemistries. Like when you look at our labs, they're almost identical. Same, genetic predispositions, all this stuff. Yet my symptoms were never sexual. Yeah. Never. Thankfully, I never dealt with erection issues or libido issues. My number 1 symptom was just mental fog. I just couldn't get in the right place mentally. And then I looked at my numbers. You know, obviously you taught me about this, and I made the change. And what a difference! What a life-changing experience it was.
And talking about this, the great satisfaction we have at the clinic is when we get a patient coming to us with no motivation, maybe not full depression, we call it dysthymia, right. His mood is lower, anhedonia, doesn't take pleasure in what he used to do. And they come to us, a lot of them, when they go to their primary, they don't check their testosterone. They'll give them an SSRI. Right. They'll put them on Paxil, on Zoloft,
you're stressed.
You're stressed. Here's some depression. That makes everything worse. Right. What do? We apply that 4 pillars of wellness: nutrition, exercise, hormone optimization, and mindset. 6 months later, this is a different guy. Completely different guy.
Even 6 weeks later, when I call him on the phone.
We get them off their depression medications. Now they want to perform. They want to do well. How many patients have we had who told us, since I started your program, I got a promotion. my sales increased.
I
performed
quit my
better
job,
at work.
opened my own
I
firm.
opened my own law firm. We have so many of those. So again, to me, that's the important thing. My passion is to first create awareness that there is a problem. So men, when you see that you don't perform well enough, you're not satisfied where you are, you feel like you're not yourself, your best version of yourself, go look for the answer. Once you see that there's an issue and you find the right provider, put those 4 areas, improve on those 4 areas, become a theta male.
And even, and just to kind of like circle back at it, there's a lot of guys that are just kind of in that gray zone, right? Where they just don't know, right? And, I have deep conversations with them like, look, you're an overachiever, right? Like your life is about accomplishing and pushing and pushing and pushing and breaking through, and that's admirable, but pushing is exhausting. There's a difference between pushing through and being pulled into your purpose, right? It's a completely different experience, and I think that that's part of the work that we do. And I just wanted to thank you for your time, Doc. And
my pleasure, man. Again, theta male, theta male. And for my ladies out there, this is not just a men's issue.
Yeah.
My passion is really men's health, but theta female, right? Theta life. So what? Imagine that you have a theta male and a theta female together. They both want to lead. They both want to get. Sometimes you let the woman shine. You stay behind. Sometimes it goes the other way. You get this type of mentality.
And what an intimacy when you get to share health, right? The living and breathing health with your partner. I mean, it's a completely different experience, a completely different dynamic to your relationship.
So be on the lookout for my book that's going to come out hopefully next year, Low T Generation, and talking about theta male and how can you achieve theta male status.
Yes.
So again, thank you so much for listening to this. Our goal and our passion is to bring awareness and to help each and every one who's seeking our help.
Yeah, and if you're part of our email threads and our internal communications, you'll always see that we spent an enormous amount of time, energy, and resources in education. We're not trying to sell anything. We're trying to bring awareness so that you can actually be empowered to be in control of your health and in control of your life. So if you have any questions, please give us a call and we'll point you in the right direction. For now, stay healthy and God bless. Thank you.